Warm greetings to all our dear listeners. If you've come across this message and simply choose to ignore it, be careful, money may stop finding its way to you. The right way to respond is to pause for 30 seconds, give it a like, and let wealth come toward you. Sounds absurd, doesn't it? But if you think deeply, you'll realize this is actually a form of psychological suggestion, a reflection of the human desire for abundance and a better life. Messages like this touch the deepest wishes in our hearts. When you engage by liking, sharing, or leaving a comment of blessing, you are, in fact, creating a positive mental affirmation about wealth. That act strengthens your confidence and motivation toward financial success. It also conveys a hidden truth. Money is a flow, and it naturally finds those who are ready, confident, and courageous enough to receive it. Just as water flows to lower ground, wealth flows toward open hearts. Of course, money isn't everything. It can't buy love, peace, or virtue. But in reality, money brings comfort, safety, and the freedom to live well. So, why not welcome it with a positive attitude? From this perspective, lucky images or money-attracting messages aren't superstition, they are reminders, gentle hints to help us face the topic of wealth with a clear and healthy mindset. They encourage us to treat money properly and to believe that prosperity can and will flow into our lives. After all, money has its own kind of spiritual energy. That's why some people become rich while others remain poor. The difference lies in understanding this energy. The rich understand the laws of money. The poor often don't. So today, let's talk about where the spiritual power of money truly lies. If you agree with what you hear, save this talk or even share it with your children. It could open a door of abundance for your family. Maybe you won't earn millions overnight, but it will surely lead your household toward growth and prosperity. Let's explore the first key. 1. Respect money. What does respecting money mean? Everyone loves money, but loving money and respecting money are not the same. Look at how wealthy people treat money. The way they earn it, spend it, and invest it, everything follows a principle, a method. That is respect. To them, money can even be more valuable than beauty or status. They understand every dollar is hard-earned and represents effort, time, and wisdom. Respecting money doesn't mean being stingy. Saving without daring to spend is not respect, it's fear. To the rich, earning money follows a principle, but so does spending it. When money creates more money, that's called profit. Money earned from labor is income. After earning, you must spend wisely and reinvest to grow it further. That's how wealth accumulates, by spending less than you earn and making your money work for you. This is gratitude, a deep appreciation for the value of money. As the old saying goes, the rich are often cautious, while the poor are generous in the wrong way. Many poor people don't see the consequences of their spending, buying what isn't necessary, missing out on opportunities to invest or learn. Opportunities to create wealth are not visible to everyone, only to those who are alert and disciplined. And that's the difference between the rich and the poor. 2. Avoid actions that drain wealth. Ask yourself, does your family engage in actions that drain its fortune? For example, gambling is a direct path to loss. The truth is written right at the door of every casino. The house always wins. The only sure way to win in gambling is not to play. As I mentioned before, in gambling, who is the true winner? It's always the casino. You're simply helping them earn more. For ordinary people like us, gambling is not only foolish, it's illegal. It breaks both the law and moral principles. When gamblers win, they often celebrate lavishly, spending without thinking. But when they lose, they blame bad luck and find endless excuses for themselves. Whether you win or lose, the result is the same. Like a mouse going to wish a cat Happy New Year, the ending never changes. You'll still end up in someone else's hands. Now, ask yourself, have you or your family ever done something that unknowingly caused your wealth to fade away? Some may think, but I'm doing good deeds, I donate money to others. That's wonderful if your giving truly supports righteousness and kindness. But many people today disguise wrongdoing under the name of charity. They pretend to be pitiful, to take advantage of others. In such cases, helping them doesn't create blessings, it feeds laziness and dependency. That too is a way to lose fortune. 3. Losing wealth by losing conscience. Those who live against their conscience or lack kindness will inevitably lose money. Why? Because when someone acts immorally, their heart becomes restless. They lose peace, confidence, and clarity, the essential foundations of success. Without those, it's impossible to make lasting wealth. Similarly, those who are unkind often lose the support of others. They isolate themselves, unable to build social relationships. And remember, money flows through people. When your relationships are blocked, the flow of wealth is blocked too. 4. Respect within the family. There's a saying, if you don't respect your wife, fortune will not come. And if you're not filial, your path will never go smoothly. This doesn't just refer to romantic affection, it points to a spiritual truth. A wife, in traditional wisdom, represents the keeper of wealth, the one who nurtures, protects, and manages the household. If you mistreat her, you destroy the harmony that allows fortune to stay. Even outside the home, you may find opportunities to make money, but inside the home must exist someone who keeps that wealth safe. And that person is often your wife. If you mistreat her, you will never become truly rich. Likewise, when a woman disrespects or mistreats her husband, she too will face the same loss of luck and wealth. Just look at honest, upright officials, their lives usually end well. But those who are corrupt, indulgent, and live with greed, who keep multiple lovers and misuse money, inevitably meet tragic ends. They may have the fate to earn money, but not the destiny to enjoy it. The same goes for filial piety. If you are not kind and respectful to your parents, your path in life will always meet obstacles. Those who are unfilial cannot maintain good relationships. And without genuine relationships, money cannot circulate. A person like that can never build lasting wealth. 5. The power of words and thoughts. Words also influence fortune. Some people wear poverty right on their lips, constantly saying, "I'm broke, I'm unlucky, I'll never be rich." But remember, your appearance follows your mind. If your thoughts are unstable, your fate will be too. Stop saying your life is hard, because each time you repeat it, you deepen that belief. Some even use negative usernames like unlucky soul, poor man, or drowning in debt. But think about it. How can such energy attract anything positive? Do you really want to live on the pity of others? The truth is, wealth begins in the mindset. There's an old saying, poverty doesn't last beyond 3 generations, and neither does wealth. Why is that? Because each generation must learn, adapt, and grow again. That's why we must constantly teach our children about thrift, discipline, and righteous wealth building. Be willing to learn. Update yourself with the times. Learning doesn't always mean going to school. Even listening to this podcast might be the first step. This message could change your mindset, your way of living, spending, and earning. In this digital age, fortune belongs to those who follow the flow of change. Learn to see trends. Ride the wave of new opportunities and grasp them with courage. That's the first step to becoming truly wealthy. A positive, optimistic, and forward-moving spirit is the true signature of a prosperous soul. After listening to this talk, hit that subscribe button. Share it with your family and friends, so all of you can learn to become truly wealthy together. Everyone loves money, but very few people truly understand where it comes from. The truth is simple. Money is the most spiritually responsive thing in the world. The more you understand it, the closer it will come to you. Many have experienced sudden wealth when luck seemed to appear out of nowhere. At that moment, nothing could stop money from flowing toward them, as if effortlessly, naturally, like a river finding its way home. Many people work tirelessly day and night like beasts of burden, yet by the end of the year, when they check their bank account, there's almost nothing left. A whole year of hard work and barely any savings. So, where does the problem lie? The truth is, money has its own spirit. It naturally seeks out those who are in harmony with it. Some people seem to earn money easily, without exhausting themselves, while others labor endlessly and never seem to prosper. So how can you make money come to you instead of chasing after it? According to ancient wisdom, money is like water, it's always in motion. If you run after it, you'll never catch it. But if you let it flow toward you, there's no way to escape it. Let me tell you a story. There once was a young man who followed his cousin abroad to learn how to trade. Before leaving home, he had only $20. He used all of it to buy 2 baskets of unripe oranges. By the time he reached his destination, the oranges had ripened, their fragrance filling the air. A curious guard caught the scent, approached him, and bought a few. The taste, both sour and sweet, was so delightful that the guard bought more and shared them with his superiors. When the steward of the household tasted them, he was impressed and immediately sent a large bag of silver to buy all the oranges. The young man made a small fortune, but he didn't obsess over it. Calm and carefree, he decided to stroll around the island. While wandering, he discovered a massive, shining seashell, incredibly rare and beautiful. He picked it up and carried it with him. On his way back, he met a wealthy merchant who was astonished by the seashell's beauty. The merchant offered to trade his entire store and all his property in exchange for it. The young man refused at first, saying he found it by chance and didn't want to take advantage of anyone. But the merchant insisted, so finally he agreed. In the end, the merchant left with the shell, and the young man became the owner of a vast fortune. People often say, if something is meant to be yours, it will come to you. If it's not, no amount of chasing will make it stay. Wealth is part of destiny. What belongs to you will come naturally. What doesn't, even if mountains of gold and silver lie before you, you won't be able to keep. If you forcefully pursue what isn't yours, misfortune will surely follow. Those who can enjoy great wealth must also possess great virtue. A person with the virtue of 1,000 gold coins is worthy of 1,000 gold coins. One with the virtue of 100 is worthy of 100. People who constantly crave money often fail to obtain it. Instead of desperately chasing wealth, learn how to attract it. If you can't make money, it's often because your virtue hasn't yet matured. There's a saying, great virtue carries great fortune. Virtue is what sustains and supports all things. Money's spiritual presence is tied to karma, destiny, and moral worth. The greater your blessings, the greater the amount of wealth you can bear. Let me share another story, this one from Liao Jai Ji, the famous Chinese classic of strange tales. It tells of a man named Wang Cheng, a lazy, unmotivated young man who lived in poverty. He had no family guidance, no friends to rely on, and no skills to make a living. By all logic, someone like him would never succeed. But destiny sometimes turns in a single moment. Wang Cheng often rested in an old, abandoned garden on the edge of his village. One day, while lying there as usual, he spotted something glimmering in the grass. A golden hairpin. Not long after, an old woman came by, anxiously searching for something. She explained that she had lost her hairpin. Even though he was poor, Wang Cheng handed it back to her without hesitation. Once upon a time, there was a man named Vuong Than. One day, he honestly returned a lost hairpin to an old lady without a moment of hesitation. Deeply moved by his honesty, the old lady learned of his difficult circumstances and decided to help. She bought him rice and food, and even gave him 40 taels of silver to start a small business. Thanks to this fateful encounter, despite many hardships along the way, Wang Tan eventually managed over 300 acres of fertile land, lived in prosperity, and built a thriving family. Those who are honest and sincere may seem to lose in the short term, but in truth, they are accumulating blessings for the long run. The law of attraction teaches us that money is not found outside. It must first be cultivated from within. If you spend your life only chasing money, you'll find it always slipping away. A heart that feels lacking will radiate negative energy, and that energy pushes wealth further from your reach. But when you live with sincerity and kindness, your heart becomes abundant. That inner abundance radiates positive energy, naturally attracting wealth and benefactors into your life. The reason many fail to gain true wealth is not because of lack of opportunity, but because their virtue has not yet matured. The Buddha taught that human nature is already complete. We lack nothing within. So why keep searching outside ourselves? In a nearby village lived a woman who was clever and calculating about money. Every month, she withheld small sums from the household budget to lend at high interest, took bribes, and sought profit in every way possible. After years as a housekeeper, she had saved quite a fortune, but her selfish and narrow heart made everyone despise her. In the end, because of one mistake, her family collapsed, her money vanished, and even her own life was lost. The ancients said, "Virtue gives birth to all things." Money is no exception. It can bring happiness, fame, status, and satisfaction. But it can also bring calculation, suffering, and disaster. Only those with virtue can truly keep their wealth. A kind and grateful heart is what sustains abundance. There's an old saying, no matter how great your talent is, without fortune, success is hard to come by. And this fortune comes from inner virtue. When virtue is full, wealth brings blessings. When virtue is lacking, wealth brings destruction. That's why becoming valuable yourself is far more important than simply making money. People often say, success comes from 30% effort and 70% blessings. Building your value, your inner worth, is more important than chasing quick profit. Take the story of a small business owner as an example. When he first started, he summarized the books he read and shared those notes publicly. But few people cared. Everyone was too busy to read. After listening to feedback, he transformed his approach. He turned his book summaries into audio lessons. This simple change made reading easier for everyone. And within 3 years, he gained over 2 million paying users and built a multi-million-dollar business. A wise advisor once said, "The best people are those who give their all for the benefit of others. They focus on giving, not taking." That's why this small business owner succeeded. He created real value for society. Every issue related to money comes down to one question. What can you offer to others? Money is not something you earn. It's a reward for solving other people's problems. The more people you help, the more wealth you'll naturally receive. Money reflects a person's heart, and the heart reflects one's virtue. So instead of praying for fortune or luck, start by perfecting yourself. Becoming valuable is the greatest asset of all. In life, 99% of problems can be solved with money. But that remaining 1% creates the other 99% of life's troubles. Only by solving that core 1%, the problem of mindset and virtue, can we truly solve the issue of money. Many people blame all their suffering on the lack of money. But those two words, no money, carry too much undeserved blame. Lack of money is merely a result, a reflection of our lack of value or understanding. Most people want money immediately, without facing their own inner obstacles. And that's why they stay trapped in the cycle. The more desperately they chase money, the further it runs. You don't have money because you haven't helped enough people yet. Each time you help someone, you earn a share of true wealth, the kind that never fades. Money. If you can help 10,000 people, you will naturally earn 10,000 shares of wealth. But to help many people, you must first develop the ability to do so. If you are not strong enough yourself, how can you lift others up? That's why the first step toward abundance is to change yourself. Most of the time, we want to change others. We wish the world would go our way. We blame other people's flaws to avoid confronting our own need for growth. But true transformation begins when we use others as mirrors, reflecting our own shortcomings. When you can bravely acknowledge your flaws, you show not only courage, but also virtue and wisdom. This process is called inner observation. When a person begins to look inward, they are no longer far from enlightenment. And what good is enlightenment? It allows you to see that money stands behind your products and services, and your products and services stand behind your character. When you work with sincerity, money naturally follows. Creating a product is, in truth, a way of cultivating your heart, and your heart is shaped by the laws of the universe. When you awaken and understand these laws, you gain the power to manifest what you desire. After enlightenment, if you go on to help others and earn money, everything will flow smoothly. Remember these 5 teachings. When you have no money, work hard. Opportunity will come. This is called heaven rewards diligence. 2. When opportunity arrives, be sincere. Wealth will follow. This is called sincerity is the root. 3. When you have money, be generous. People will gather around you. This is called give wealth, attract people. When you have people, love them. Success will arrive. This is called virtue nurtures destiny. And 5. When you have success, share wisdom. Happiness will blossom. This is called virtue brings peace under heaven. Why can't most people become truly wealthy? Because although money brings great benefits, it also carries strong resistance. If one's virtue and wisdom are not deep enough, it's easy to be defeated by that resistance. Look around many people. Once they earn a certain amount, become arrogant and extravagant, disrespectful of morals and order, damaging the very goodness of their character. Every person's fortune has a limit. When greed, vanity, and arrogance are exposed by money, that limit becomes clear. And that is the highest amount of wealth that person can ever hold. Making money, then, is a form of spiritual cultivation. Money itself is not the goal, it's just a tool, a bridge. And crossing that bridge is what we call the journey of life. In the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha once said, "The greatest merit in life is not giving away all your possessions to charity, but helping others awaken, guiding them across the river of ignorance to the shore of enlightenment. To awaken yourself first, then help others awaken. That merit surpasses any amount of money you could give away." To those who have listened until the end, thank you for being here. If today's message has inspired you, please tap like so I know you are here. May blessings and fortune flow to you like a great river. May your life be filled with peace, purpose, and joy. If you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button on the right, so we can continue walking this path of wisdom together. And if you feel called, share this message with others. For spreading light is itself an immeasurable act of merit.